Hello everybody and welcome to week 10 of the virtual art sessions. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to do another week of portraiture, and what I would like you to do, if you're brave enough, is to actually do another self-portrait, but this time of you in profile. If you can get an image of you with dramatic lighting, that'll certainly help your picture. Here I am being a smurf, as you can see. Now I'm using a wide-angle webcam today, and it is creating a little bit of a distortion, so what I'll do, I'll try and draw here, and then hopefully you can just ignore the fact that that's a little bit distorted. So what I'm going to do is, on this dirty bit of paper, I am going to, first of all, on my picture, I'm going to work out a square. So my nose is going to be touching the end here, the back of my head. Where's the back of my head? The back of my head is there. Okay, and then I have the top of my head, and I might actually just use the bottom of that along there. So if I can just sort of fold that over as well. You could just use a ruler, you could cut it off, it's entirely up to you. But what I can do now, I can draw this out, and what I can do, I can look at the negative shapes, so this shape here, to make sure that I have the shape of my head correct. Have a look at the profile. If you don't want to do yourself, you could try and find a picture off the web or in a magazine or something like that. But everything's really squashed over in this tiny little area, and look where my ear is. It's actually, if you look at sort of the side of my head, it's actually further over to the right than the centre, so it really is quite interesting. Obviously we never see ourselves from the side, do we? So it's quite interesting to see. Now I'm going to make this into a little bit more of a square shape, so that makes a lot of sense, and I'm going to start drawing it out. Now you can do this in any medium you like, but I'm going to do mine in charcoal because it's such a nice medium. Here's my hair, here's my forehead, bringing it down, and then I have my nose. So I think actually that distance there is too great, so I'm going to bring that back over. So yeah, use this negative shape to help you get your face right. Right, and you can have a look where there's little relationships. I'll use a pencil here to point. This lip here, it does come in where we have the top lip and the bottom lip, but if you imagine carrying on that line, that would join up quite nicely. So when I do actually draw that out, I can then imagine that there's that bit joining there. I can rub that out later. So, and also sort of like your chin, if your chin carried on, where would it go? Well, on me it'd actually join with the outside of my nostrils. So you can use these sort of measurements to work out exactly where everything goes. Okay, I think that needs to be a little bit more, and then bring that over there. So I have my hair, which sort of comes down like this. My ear, if I have a look at my ear, it's sort of a little way up on my nose, so it starts somewhere around there, and the bottom of my ear, if I have a look, is just here on my chin. So, oh my goodness, that is so low down, who would have thought it? And you know, really look to see where the top is and where the bottom is. It really is quite amazing. Look at this angle here. If you imagine this point here, the bottom bit is the centre of a clock. What time would that be pointing to? Well, that would be about 2 o'clock. So my ear is at 2 o'clock, and that will help me get the angle of that about right. Now you see, I would think that that was just way too far, but according to my measurements, that can't be right, surely. Right, okay. So my eye would be sort of here. It's like a triangle with my eyeball and my cheekbones. The hair would be about there. Maybe that is a little bit too far back, so we will move it. Oh, that looks better. That looks much better. And then obviously there's going to be the back of my head there as well. So that is what I would like you to have a go at doing. So the great thing about charcoal is you can cover great big areas really quickly. Sometimes it is easier to actually shade something in and then to actually take the highlights out. So remember that, I'm sure we've discussed this before, but it can be a really good way of shading in a large area quite quickly. Okay, this area here, this can be shaded in really dark because that's in the background, and that's going to help my head. I've got a little bit of highlighted stuff here, bring it down a bit. Yeah, it'll help with the shape of my head. Now I can blend these areas to give me a little bit of a mid-tone. My nose is quite dark, so I can use my finger to blend that area there, and it goes quite dark into this area here as well. So you can gradually work your way around and work out which areas need to be shaded and which areas are fairly light, and obviously rub out any areas where you feel the need for it to be a little bit lighter. So that is what I'd like you to do. Draw yourself inside profile using a charcoal pencil, well, whatever you like. Now supposing you work in charcoal, your drawing is going to be quite rapid, so you might want an extension task to do, and I've got one that won't take you too long and is quite interesting to have a go at. Now what I'd like you to do, take one particular feature on your face. You could work from the photograph that you've just been working from. You could have a look on your phone, you could have a look in the mirror, it's up to you. And what I want you to do, I want you to draw just one of your features, maybe the bottom of your nose, maybe your mouth, maybe your eyes. I'm going to go for an eye. Remember I did the demo of the eye last week. I'm just going to draw out my eye. Now this is one, I'm not observing this, I am just making it up. So it's nice and quick, but it's along the same generic rules that I shared with you last week. Okay, there's my eyebrow and the side of my nose. Now what I want you to do, I would like you to start to shade in, scribble in. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can either start scribbling like so, going in different directions, but what I'd like you to do is every now and again when you're scribbling, cross hatching, is just suddenly go in a different direction, so this really does end up with lots of scribbles all over the surface. And what will happen is gradually over time your image will start to really build up, and it'll be energetic and it will be fun, and it's just another way of drawing. Okay, so lots of scribbling to build up your shadows. Now another thing you can actually do is, rather than just doing it in lines, and you could, if you wanted to, you could have all the lines go in sort of like oh gosh, what's the perpendicular to one another if you wanted to, or you can have it soft and scribbly like I'm doing here, or what you can do is you can do circles. Now if you want to do circles, then what you want to do is you want to try and bring those circles up against those lines, so it builds up the intensity of the shading that you want here. And then you can go smaller, but you need to think about where you need those areas to be darker and keep building them up and building them up and building them up until you start getting those areas of shade. Okay, and just keep building it up. Go into ovals now, trying to build up that iris. Now you want to just keep scribbling and scribbling and scribbling, and eventually what's going to happen is you're going to build up some really good areas of tone. So I can show you the sort of thing that eventually you will end up with. Here's my sketchbook. It's got so thick I've had to start working back to front and upside down. Right, okay. So here's an eye. Ooh, which way's round? Sorry, it's that way round. Okay, so it's purely scribbly, and it's really starting to take form. Now I do have I got the other one where there's another scribbly one with all these stray lines going all over the place, and there's the one that was using the round small circular curves. So there are a couple of tasks for you, portraiture. So thank you very much for joining me over these few weeks. I do hope that those of you that haven't been able to do everything because you've been busy or you've had sort of family commitments and what have you, the videos they're all still there. They're all there for you to watch. I will keep the Facebook page going for a little while, so if you did find the time at any point to actually do some of the stuff, then pop them on the Facebook page, share them with me, share them with the rest of the people, and yeah, it would be good if you did actually manage to have a go at some of the things. I think I've given you quite a varied collection of things to do, so yeah, I hope it's been okay. Take care everybody, and don't forget to share with me what you've done. Bye bye.